Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Whatever.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome on this cold night. I hope you all had a great Christmas, Hanukkah, and looking forward to a great New Year. So, we're here. Vinny's going to take the roll call for the meeting of December 28th, 2017.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Here.
Council Members Long.
Here.
Napolitani. Shephaka. And Mayor Siciliano.
Here. Everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You have a microphone? You don't have a microphone down there?
Test.
Okay. Our clerk's going to set up our microphone for our public portion down there. In the meantime, I'll read our statement. The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed with the municipal clerk on December 29th, 2016. There are two fire exits, one to my right, which will bring you out to the front parking lot, and one to my left in the back of the room there, kind of meanders down the hallway and also brings you out to the parking lot. If you have a cell phone, now's the time to turn the volume off. If you want to take pictures or anything like that's fine. If you need to make a call, kindly go out into the hallway. You can do that out there. Okay. We have don't have any ceremonies on for tonight or any tremendous people to acknowledge. So we're going to get to council reports if we have any. Rich, do you have anything for us?
Nothing tonight, Mayor, other than to say happy 2018 to everybody in Ocean.
Great, thank you. Rob, anything?
Likewise, Happy New Year, safe one. We'll see you all in 2018.
Super. Mike?
I have nothing tonight.
Marty?
Happy New Year.
Right. And I wish everybody the same, a peaceful, safe, and happy New Year for 2018. And thank you all for coming and participating here. So the notice requirement of the Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. I think I went through that one. Hang on, we're going to go to the other part. Tonight we have our minutes and resolutions. Does anybody have... Yeah, I'm going to. Does anybody have anything on our minutes or resolutions on the agenda? Come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. No? Seeing you hearing no one. Someone please offer the minutes of December 7th, 2017 workshop.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. And tonight we have resolution 17-251 through 17-265. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes on all but 265.
Council Member Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. For tonight we have individual action vouchers in the amount of $787,364.56. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Except for those of which I have a conflict. I should add. Tonight we have resolution 17-246, authorize the purchase of 3 shade tree structures for the community pool and tennis facility for general recreation. State contract 16, fleet 000130 at a cost not to exceed $16,588. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 17-247, authorize the purchase of 6 plastic tables and umbrella holes from the General Recreation Inc. State Contract 16 Fleet 00130 at a cost not to exceed $7,810. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 17-260, approve the continuance on the assessment installment payment plan for the following property owners who have become delinquent in their assessments confirmed on September 14th, 2017. Block 125, Lot 4 for $427.38. Block 25.22. Lot 1, $1,084.93. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 17-261, authorize the amendment of the following professional service contracts. A. Mark S. Ruderman and the firm of Ruderman, Horn, Esmerado, P.C. and B. Martin J. Arbus, Esquire, the firm of Arbus, Maybrook, and Good, LLC. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 17262, authorize the transfer of available surplus revenue collected by the Sewage Authority. We will be amending the term surplus and using another term, but the revenue from that. Someone please offer 262.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 17264, authorize the transfer of funds in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-58, NJSA 40A:4-45.4A. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. At this time, if anybody has anything from the public you'd like to discuss with us here, germane to Ocean Township business, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Michelle Crosta, 13,
You can move that down.
Yep.
1318 Vina. So I'm just following up on a request back on June 8th when I was here. I requested that there was discussion about planting trees in the right-of-way, especially in Wanamassa, using the shade tree fund. From what I understand, nothing's allocated to use that money for. I was told that there will be a lawyer to speak on it, and it's been 6 months and nothing has been sent to the Shade Tree Commission.
I had asked the Shade Tree Commission for a plan to spend down some of that monies to do some improvements such as that for the whole township. I've gotten nothing back from them.
I've been attending the meetings and nothing has been brought up regarding that.
Okay, I'll have to come to the next meeting and request it because
That would be really nice.
I asked for that and I have gotten nothing back.
Also, I want to know, I was CC'd on an email back in October. We don't have a secretary for either of the Shade Tree or the Environmental Commission. I have been volunteering my time to take minutes.
Okay.
No one has been appointed. I just want to know like how long that process takes.
Well,
and
I don't know if you've seen a follow-up email on that or not, but I received an email from the Shade Tree Committee and also the Environmental Commission, and there was a request. I don't know if it was for you, maybe it was for you to be in a paid post, and I authorized that.
the question was to have a paid secretary be submitted,
Yeah.
and then the other request for me was to be a alternate.
Yeah, both were approved.
But I don't
By
want the
email.
position of
Oh.
being secretary. That
Gotcha.
should come from someone within
Okay.
our local government
Well,
who like knows what's going on
Okay.
and how to take minutes. And I can't. The other thing is with my scheduling, I cannot be
You're
there.
not interested in that position?
I
I can
can't.
teach it.
I unfortunately can't
Okay.
always be there, so there needs to be someone who is committed.
Okay.
To
I'll
being
talk
there.
to Ray about it. We'll figure out how to
It
fill
would
those
be really
voids.
great to start the year off
Okay.
because I feel like public is missing a lot of the information that is happening at the meetings, and I think it's really important to
Yeah,
get it out there.
Absolutely. Okay.
So you'll come to our next Shade Tree meeting? Is that what you said?
As long as it doesn't conflict with our council meetings, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to
Do you
that.
have
Thank you.
you want to make a note of that, Mike, for the secretary position? Okay, thanks. I think the Shade Tree is actually your baby.
Yeah, we've been actively trying to get somebody
Okay.
for it.
Yeah. It's above my pay scale. Anybody else? Come on up to the microphone, state your name and address, and use up your minute 30 of the clock. I'm only serious. Go ahead.
Jackie Wenzel, 610 Deal Road. Anyway, I'm really happy that the room is somewhat full tonight because it seemed like a last minute change in schedule. What was the reason for that?
This is our holiday schedule. We pretty much try to do this between Christmas and New Year's. We don't have a lot of business on the agenda for this meeting. It's pretty much tidying up anything that we left out, and to be considerate to Vinny, who drives up to North Jersey. I didn't want to keep him here.
No, I
Too
think.
long, so I thought it'd be
well,
nice
I
to
guess.
do it.
How come no one mentioned it at the last meeting on the 7th? That the
I
next
don't know,
meeting would
'cause
be
we're
earlier.
terrible-
That
we're
would have
terrible
been nice.
people. I don't know why. Other than that.
No, I don't mean to beat anyone up over it.
Yeah.
It's just that, I've been trying to help spread the word to get a greater attendance here. I know that you've even been, encouraging us to get a greater attendance to discuss the development. And I had to like run down here today, and I was freezing, like my fingers were freezing, trying to like change the time on my
So
sign.
you lived in Ocean?
Yeah, I work in New York City.
Oh.
So anyway, I had to change the date, the time.
Oh, and that sign, that illegal sign up front?
Yeah.
of the property?
Well, it's the only way people know what's going on. Because I mean,
You don't
how
have
did
to follow the rules.
Can I
of it.
ask you, Mr. Mayor, how did you alert the residents that the meeting was changed from 7 to 5:30?
Yeah. Go ahead, Vin.
It was sent to the papers last Friday, and it
Oh,
was
it
put
was?
on the website on Friday, the change.
What papers? It was just
Asbury
in,
Park and the Coasters.
okay. All right. I mean, I could. What about the sign that's by the park? You know, that runs, and you have a sign here that runs with information, but it never really mentions any of the meetings. Is there a reason for that?
I mean,
Maybe
they're on the-
maybe we
they're
could
on-
consider it.
They're on our website, so we.
I
put
know,
all
but
of them.
not everybody. My mother doesn't even have a computer. I mean, you're assuming everyone has a computer to go on a website. Not everybody does, and many people that may not exercise their right to use the computer and go on the
No, we can
website.
certainly put the meeting times and dates on the calendar out there, or the sign.
Yeah, I think you'd get a bigger turnout, and I think that's instead of just a few people trying to speak for many people.
Sounds good. What else?
Okay. Okay, so I'm just here to ask also a couple of questions about the January 4th meeting. Questions have been asked to me, is it an official township
Nope.
meeting?
Now, that's something we asked the developer if he would consider doing another one of those meetings, for the public's benefit only. And he's agreed to do that. So it's your opportunity to go in there and take a look at it before anything goes to a planning board, if it were ever to go that far.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your chance to ask questions without listening to tedious testimony and being shouted down and et cetera. So I just think it's a great opportunity. If you're interested in that property, that's be your opportunity to go there and ask questions, take a look at what he's proposing. I know he's made a lot of changes.
Now, would it be the time to bring in experts such as environmental experts, attorney?
It's not a formal
that would-
hearing. It's really just a presentation.
Okay.
I mean, you can ask him any questions you want. He'll answer whatever he can without his professionals there. But I think he'll probably limit it. If his attorney's not there, he'll probably limit some of the technical or definitely legal questions.
You mean his attorney won't be there, to your knowledge?
I don't think she's going to be there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
But you can ask that question before you have them ask their question.
No, I guess I want to know because we've been speaking to a planner and an attorney just to represent the people in terms of like our environment and what's healthy for our families and the water system, the wetlands, and the gas station. There's a lot of issues.
Yeah, that
I
all
think
has
the
to be
environmental
vetted out.
issue is like one of the strongest.
Absolutely. But
Concerns.
anybody, forget this developer, forget this property. Any property in Ocean Township or any town in New Jersey, first of all, there's local guidelines you have to follow. Then there's state
Sure.
and federal.
Sure.
Anytime you're near a stream, brook, or body of water. So it's not, even though the concept is you can build this on this property as long as you can get these approvals. If they can't get the approvals, whatever they're proposing won't be built.
But
You
in
have to
terms of your
understand that.
experts, that would be more appropriate.
At a planning board.
I mean, you can contact him, I'm sure he'll take your call, but that would be more appropriate when it goes to a planning board and there's testimony. They present their case, okay? The applicant presents his case, and then the objectors are entitled to present a case. If they have experts, they have experts testify. So that would be the time for that,
Okay, yeah, because they charge by the hour.
yes.
So I don't want to be wasting their time.
As Marty mentioned, I know the developers reached out to yourself and others.
Yes.
You can contact him and ask him those questions instead of me. I don't know. Maybe he'll say okay.
Well,
Ask
I don't
him if
want
you can
I don't
bring
want
them.
to engage them if it's not going to be of value to the council and what your consideration
even
is,
know if
because
we're gonna-
nothing can be built that you don't approve.
I don't know that we're even going to
Well,
be
that's
there.
not true, but the bottom line here is,
Wait a minute, can then clarify that? Who's the decision maker?
well, that's why we have courts. There are instances where things have been approved that we did not approve, that were approved by courts. But the bottom line here is,
Can you make an example?
I'm trying to remember, they've happened while I was the planning board attorney, where applications get denied and they get approved by a court, reverses the planning board.
Okay,
The
yeshiva.
yeshivas.
Okay.
That's one, but I wasn't even thinking of that.
Okay.
There are other examples of
Where
applications
someone
that
strong
denied.
has strong-armed a situation and
Well, not strong arm. They felt they were wronged, and they filed an appeal, and the court said, board or council, whatever, you're wrong, and reversed.
But in this case, with the land use change, 2303, which kind of went quickly, we had that, crazy, very theatrical meeting with the planning board. as we understood when we left that meeting, the planning board, Higgins' daughter had said she didn't see any inconsistency with the master plan. I saw great inconsistencies with the master plan, at least the master plan I keep looking at. The one that before the rezoning, for Stop and Shop, there are a lot of differences. And getting that gas station approved, kind of for all of us who don't, we keep being told it's not a done deal and all these things, but moving that along as quickly as it did without us having any voice really to say anything in terms of the environmental issues with the gas station. If that gets, at this point it comes back to you say, yes, we're going to let the land use change happen, that it can accommodate a gas station now. From what I've been just investigating on my own, because I'm trying to be as involved and as learned about this whole subject as possible, there's a thing called spot zoning, which clearly states it's zoning for the needs of a particular developer, not necessarily the needs or wants of the community. And in this particular case, if we were to change that to a gas station, to change the land use ordinance to accommodate a gas station, it's almost like we're laying out the carpet for them to just, breeze right through.
Part of what you're saying is true. It's not spot zoning, but Marty can explain to you why, when you have an application like this, or you have a property that you're looking to rezone, why you would do it that way. And it almost looks like it fits a future application. And usually if you do that, and I'm not the attorney, he is, it's to get some benefits that you couldn't get with the current zoning, or even if we left it at C2, which it was in 1987, Commercial 2 Highway, which allows gas stations. No buffering, no road improvements, things like that. So if you look at the 1987 zoning, prior to that, it was C2 Highway. We can go back to that.
But how come
you can have a gas station and everything else on there?
But Mayor Weldon in 1999 clearly stated the only commercial part of that property, of the Turner track, the only commercial acreage that was owned was 13 right on 35. And he clearly stated it was for professional use, research building, doctor's office.
Apparently you're referring to a newspaper article.
Right.
At the same time, or virtually shortly thereafter, is when this got rezoned. It was within a year or two of that happening that under that mayor, this got rezoned.
No, wait.
But the bottom line here
No, but that was 1999. Now, Mayor...
The bottom line is that spot zoning typically refers to a small piece of property that is zoned for one particular use, and this is not a small piece of property, number one. Number two, we're in litigation. When you're in litigation, almost all the time, if it's resolved with an idea as to how the property is going to be zoned, consistent with what the developer is agreeing to do and what the town is letting them do. But that is not spot zoning. And this is in litigation and has been, and we have a trial date right now, February 28th.
Well, it didn't. February 28th is... What is February 28th?
Right
for your
now,
court
that's the
date?
scheduled trial date, I believe. I have to look at my phone to make sure.
With Stop and Shop.
The original Stop and Shop case.
And where is that going to take place?
If that takes place, it will take place in Freehold.
Okay. Are we allowed to come and watch?
You are allowed. I'm looking at February 28th. It's not in my calendar.
I thought it was in the early 20s, 20th.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
whenever it is.
last week of February. We'll get you the
You can
date.
call me and I'll let you know when it is. For some reason, I thought it was February 28th.
Well, I'm just, I don't know. So you're saying then it was zoned for a gas station in 80-something, but then in
87 and
1999.
prior to 1987, it was C2 zoning, Commercial 2 Highway.
So it became more restrictive in 87? I mean, at the
after,
point
after 87.
that's when, who would have...
There was I think that was probably a master deed re-examination at that time. Every 10 years, I think they were going for it. They probably hadn't had one since 75, then 87. So maybe it was during that time that zone was changed.
Maybe it was because of the wetlands and the brook. People thought
Yeah, like
it
I
was
said,
a hazard.
that wouldn't change that. It would say these are allowed uses if you can get them in there. And when we say if you can, subject to topography, how much you can take out as far as landfill, and if there's a stream, brook, and if you can meet the requirements of the DEP, the federal regulations, and the township engineers, then you would probably get an approval for something like that. If you can't, they'd say, great, even though a gas station is allowed in the zone, you can't put one on that property because you can't meet these requirements.
So that could still happen even with the land use change.
Absolutely could happen.
But I guess I'm just saying, if you're really concerned about the environment, as many of us are, why would you even change the land use to accommodate a Wawa?
I think Mr. Orbis mentioned because of the pending litigation, this is your only leverage maybe to get some things beneficial to the town, such as a multi-million-dollar road improvement, maybe some extra buffering that you couldn't make another applicant do if you don't have a change in the zoning. In other words, if we left it alone and someone comes in here and they want to do any kind of building or development there, you're limited on it. You know, listen, from residential to residential, there's no buffering required.
No, but I feel like this whole project has now received so much attention that I think if we were strong and said for the environment, we're not going to change the land use for a gas station, you know, that's just not.
Jackie,
Can
just
I
another
ju-
thing, because you talked about the master plan. Changing a commercial use to allow a gas station, okay, would still be consistent with the master plan. The master plan and typically consistency deals with if you change something that's residential and you're making it industrial. If you change something that's commercial and you change it to residential, change something that's residential, you make it commercial, then that's an inconsistency or can be looked at as an inconsistency with the master plan. But here, taking a what is a commercial use and allowing a different commercial use typically is not considered something inconsistent with the master plan.
Well, the commercial use, as quoted by Weldon in '99, was a professional building, nothing to the industrial level of a gas station. It is greatly different.
It was never zoned for that. You're talking about
That's-
a newspaper article.
It was his interview. It was him being
It's a
quoted.
newspaper article in
Right.
1999.
Right. Is it
It's
fake
not what
news
the
or are you
ordinance
calling it
was.
fake news?
It's not the ordinance. It's not anything else. The ordinance never said that, and it's never been zoned.
So it never was zoned 13 acres on 35 only for commercial. You're saying that now? It was never zoned for that?
I don't remember what it was zoned as.
Well, that's what he said it was zoned for. He said that to the newspaper. At that time, he very much wanted and was seeking Green Acres funding to preserve the rest of that land and only develop 13 acres on 35. That was according to he was quoted saying that.
What he said is inconsequential. What he said is inconsequential.
But it's history. It's giving us a timeline of dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is.
It's inconsequential. So
Why
do you say that?
Because the
it's not
same
going to make a
mayor,
difference.
Well,
the same mayor then was part of the rezoning, allowing the entire area to be zoned commercial.
aha, that's what has us scratching our head. What happened?
I don't know what happened. I guess reality sunk in. They weren't getting Green Acres.
No, but it's
They got-
such a dramatic
They
turn.
got Green Acres funds for a piece of the land, which became the historical museum and became the library. That was obtained through the Green Acres funding, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what they got. They got a whole bunch of land for that, and they didn't get the balance of it. And then it was rezoned within a very short period of time, because I was the planning board attorney.
How old do you
that
think Mayor
application was
Weldon
made.
was when he did that? Because it seems like it's such a 360
Why are we going
change.
over-
Well,
I
because
don't
it
know-
starts
you know what?
there.
You can't get Terry Weldon here to discuss
No,
it.
I know that. I only have documentation that
You have
that's
an
there.
article in a newspaper.
Well, it's quoting him, just like many famous people through history have been quoted with things they say. We don't say it's not no longer matters.
Then we look at what
They
did
quote.
after- Then we look at what they did afterwards. After he was quoted saying that, the property was rezoned while he was the mayor to allow for this commercial development. He was part of that process.
I know, but it was dramatically different from what his position on that property was.
I don't know.
And at the same day, the same thing happened with another property of which he was arrested for. So as the residents, we have, we can't help but think perhaps that was his mode of operation in terms of doing business at that time, because it's dramatically different. And I'm gonna, with my last, I'm gonna sit down because there are a lot of people here who want to talk. I just want to close with something, and I don't really know how to say this. I don't want to say anything that is going to get me in trouble. But since we're going to court right now, and they're suing us, and they're suing our mayor because he's sitting in the place now, but we had rezoned it. Isn't there any investigation as a township we could do for the people that made the original deal with Weldon, where we could have an attorney question them and say, why would our mayor have such a dramatic change in thought? Was he being pressured? Why was he being pressured? How was he being
I'm going to
pressured?
say this. At that time, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the entire planning and development department, there were FBI agents here going through every document that they had. every single one
That
So-
who had?
that we've had here in Ocean Township pertaining to any rezoning, anything like that. So that was already done.
Okay.
The FBI is satisfied. Case was closed. Punishments were handed out. Sentences were served. People did their time. It's over. I mean, they found out all they could about it. So I don't know where you're going with
No,
that,
I guess because
Jackie.
I
mean,
feel
you
like
wanna
did they
call
twist
up
his
the
arm? Is
FBI
it legal to
and ask
twist
them
his arm
for the record.
to change the zoning? That's all.
If
I
that
just
happened,
feel,
that was already vetted out. That's all I can tell you about it. I really don't want to talk about it too much anymore.
no, but
than
when
that.
there's a murder case, the cold case sometimes
Call.
can be resolved years later.
But this was
So-
resolved. There was a resolution to it all. And like I said,
So why are we being sued?
that's on a whole nother issue. That's because we stopped the development of the Stop and Shop midstream, and it's called inverse condemnation. So by trying to stand up for the township and protect everybody and protect that space, it resulted in a lawsuit. We're in litigation over it.
So why do you think
For
Mayor
fighting for you,
Larkin-
which is we don't
Well,
mind doing, but that's why we're in litigation.
But I think it's because at that time it was a bit of a hot issue. That how did it all get rezoned? I'm going to stop on that.
Okay, thank you.
I think enough is out there about that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, I'll make a motion to close.
No, that's okay.
Anybody make a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair,
Yes.
Council Members Long.
Yes.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Have a safe and peaceful New Year, everybody. Meeting adjourned.